Well, football's coming to Rome. Italy win the Euro 2020 tournament after beating England on penalties 3-2. After three back-to-back misses by England, three well, I say back-to-back misses, but they were all two of them were great saves by Donnarumma. The other one, Rashford, hitting the post, unfortunately, and Italy did exactly what they needed to do. They went behind early, which wasn't ideal. The fastest goal in Euro tournament history by Luke Shaw, second minute. And I think a lot of England and the entirety of England really, and a lot of people did actually think it was coming home for some time. But Italy fought back. England, they did something I hate to see football teams do is when they score early, they just sit behind, let the opposition get the balls, keep the possession. They eventually create chances, create shots, and sometimes they do end up scoring. And when they do score, the team that does score ends up having the entirety of the game in their going their way. They have all the momentum, everything going their way, and they do end up winning the game usually. And that's what happened in this game, but not in those circumstances. So yeah, just to quickly recap the game. Like I said, the fastest goal by Luke Shaw in Euro history came in second minute. It came from a Kieran Trippier cross, which the Kieran Trippier was the main standout and the main surprise in this game because before the game started, hours before the game, there were rumors that he would have started in place of Saka, and England would have started with a back five, and that's exactly what England did. They started with the back five, had Kieran Trippier, they had Walker, Stones, and Maguire in the back, and they had Trippier and Shaw as the wing backs. And they kept Rice and Calvin Phillips as holding midfielders with Harry Kane, Sterling, and Mason Mount up front. And they started off really well, England. Like I said, they got the second minute goal. They were controlling the game for like the first 30 minutes or something. And then that's when Italy started to, get the ball but create chances. I believe Chiesa had a good shot in the first half. I think he like absolutely stormed through Declan Rice, went run past him like he wasn't even there. And he got the shot, but it went wide. And then coming on to the end of the first half specifically, Italy were really starting to pick it up, play a lot better, create some really good chances, have some good shots, and you kind of got a sense that the goal was coming, but let's see if England can hold up until halftime. And they did end up holding on. England did. They ended up holding on until halftime. And so some people were thinking, myself included, well, okay, they got to halftime. Can they really hold this for another 45 minutes? Can they keep this? Can they keep the Italians at bay? And a lot of people would have backed England because of just how incredible their defense has been this tournament, this entire tournament, and the fact that Italy and England made it to the final just shows that the saying "goals win games, but defenses win championships" always reign true, because both of these sides were two incredibly defensive sides. They had two watertight defenses built. You had Pickford and Donnarumma, who did ended up winning Player of the Tournament, the first goalkeeper to ever win Player of the Tournament. Just go have it crazy spells of clean sheets. Both of these teams only conceded one goal. Sorry, both of these sides have not conceded more than one goal since God knows how long. Um, both had incredible defenses, and they both showed really why defenses do win championships. And that rang true because who scored the equalizer for Italy? A defender. Who scored the first goal for England? A defender. And that's the first time two defenders have scored in a European or World Cup final ever. So that's a little bit of niche knowledge for you guys there. Um, Another point from the first half, Immobile had one of the worst first half performances I've seen by a striker in a game ever, really. And Harry Kane didn't even have that good of a game, really, himself. But yeah, Immobile came off Berardi, and that's when Italy went to this kind of fluid front three, this interchangeable front three, where you had Insigne, Berardi, and Chiesa, and they could all interchange. They could all play all positions on the left, central, in the center, or on the right. And that's when you start to see them moving about, they're pulling England defenders out of place, creating spaces for other players to run in, and that's really what happened. The chance came because Chiellini pushed up. He pushed real high up in the field, and that was able to pull Declan Rice out of position. And I believe it was Chiesa who whipped in across, and I think Harry Maguire had to really stretch and bend to get contact with the ball and put it behind for a corner. And it's from the corner is how the goal came. It was a scramble in the box. Somebody shot it from it dropped to somebody in to Italy in the box. He shot it. Pickford couldn't get a hand on it. It went to the post, and um, Bonucci was the quickest to react and fire to him, and he got Italy back on level terms. And that's when Italy really looked like they could go on and win the game because England were all over for the second half. Like I said, they came into the second half, they sat back, went full Pogba bus mode, and Italy was able to take advantage of that. They kept piling the pressure, they kept coming forward. Italy kept attacking no matter what, no matter what. And by the time they scored, Italy was had all the momentum with them. They just kept going, and England couldn't seem to get on the ball. They were just all over the place, and England were really kind of fortunate to hold on to get the draw to see out the full 90 minutes. Italy did make some, no, Italy, England did make some subs. They brought on Saka for Trippier. They took off Declan Rice for John Henderson, and Italy had to be forced into a change. It was Federico Chiesa, who has been having an incredible tournament, was injured. He could not continue, so he was taken off, and he came on for Bernadeschi. And that's just such heartbreak for a guy like Chiesa, who's been having such an incredible tournament. That's his second major player that has been injured for Italy in this tournament. Of course, you had Spinazzola, who went down against Belgium, and now you have obviously Chiesa, who was unable to continue because he did. And there was another scare with Jorginho in the first half. Right after England scored, there was a lot of concern that he would not have been able to continue, but he did end up seeing out the full game, the full 120 minutes, and he did take a penalty. But yeah, that's really it for the first half. It was really an incredible tactical display by both managers. The first half, it was completely Southgate. He seemed to have got it all right by bringing in Trippier, because that was a very questionable move, and England just seemed so hard to defend. There was good communication between Rice and Phillips. If one went forward, the other would stay back, so there would be that slight layer of protection of the back line between both of them. One of them would sit in front of John Stones to ensure that there was some that at least minor blankets of protection. But in the second half, Mancini saw what he needed to do. He took off Immobile early because he realized he wasn't working. He was just being ineffective. Brought on Brody, like I said, had that fluid front three, were able to interchange, and he really pull England defenders out of place and get them scrambling all over the place. So it was a great chess match between both of the managers. Gareth Southgate obviously got the better of them in the first half. Mancini obviously got the better in the second half. And yeah, they sort of, both teams kind of settled for the draw and they went into extra time. Now, in extra time, what happened in extra time? The only real things that really did happen in extra time was, I remember there was Emerson who skipped away from Luke Shaw. He kind of left him on the ground. He whipped in a cross, and Jordan Pickford had to come out. He had to be brave. He got something on it because there was somebody in the center. I believe it was Berardi, who would have definitely finished it. But Pickford came out. He was strong. He made himself big. He got the ball away. And that's really how that happened. Coming on to the end of the extra time, Southgate made two subs to bring on two attacking players. That was Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho, who both players have barely featured in this tournament. Sancho started one game. I believe that was the game against Ukraine. But besides that, I think he probably came off the bench once or twice. I don't have the correct amount of times he played in this tournament in front of me right now. But yeah, and Rashford is a player who I remember seeing him get subbed on for a game. I can't remember what game it was, but nevertheless, both these players have not been featured highly in this tournament. But they both came on because they were both attacking players and they were both favored to take the penalties if it went to penalties, and it did. So yeah, you have a plethora of attacking talent on the pitch for England. All of them could take penalties. So what happens when we go into penalties now? So yeah, the game goes to penalties. So what happens when penalties start? So Italy go first. They win the toss. They take it in front of the England fans, which is kind of a bold tactic because having all those fans screaming at you, howling at you whenever you're going to take a penalty, it is quite a daunting thing. But yeah, Italy go first. Berardi steps up. He buries it in the bottom left-hand corner. He sends Pickford the wrong way, so Italy score first. Then Harry Kane steps up. He puts it to the keeper's right, and Donnarumma does go that way, but it got away from him. So Kane equalized 1-1. Then Belotti steps up, and Pickford does a brilliant job of making the save. So Italy missed their second penalty. It's still 1-1. So who takes the second penalty for England? Harry Maguire surprisingly stepped up. I didn't think he would have been one to step up, but he did. He took on the task. He stepped up, and he buried the top corner, to be fair to him. While he was taking it, the ball seemed like it was rising so high, I thought it was going to just be blasted over. But he put the top corners, and yeah, he kind of say anything but well done to him. So for Italy's third penalty, Bonucci steps up and he buries it. And then this is kind of where the downfall of England begins. Because Marcus Rashford, who, if you remember earlier, was brought on to take penalties, he just seems to overthink it a bit too much, gets in his own head, and he hits the post. He does send the keeper the wrong way, but he just hits the post, and unfortunately, that's the first miss for England. Then Bernardeschi steps up, who, if I remember correctly, hasn't scored a penalty in the entire last season of club football. He just played for Juventus. He steps up, he buries his penalty, advantage Italy. Then Jadon Sancho, the second player who was called upon from the bench to be sub, who was brought on at the end of the game, steps up, takes his penalty. Donnarumma saves it. He goes to the keeper's left bottom corner. Donnarumma saves it. And then, so it's still advantage Italy. Italy have the chance to win it. Jorginho, who's been a excellent penalty taker his entire career. I believe he's only missed like three penalties or four penalties throughout the last year or so. He steps up. Pickford guesses the right way, and Pickford saves it. And at this point, everyone's thinking, surely it's written in the stars for England to go through and continue with the penalties. But Bukayo Saka, the 19-year-old, steps up, takes his penalty kick, and Donnarumma guesses the right way. He went the same way that Sancho went, if I remember correctly, and he saves it. And it's just heartbreak for England. Yeah, you can't help but feel sorry for the guys that missed for England. Three young guys who took the challenge on and stepped up to the plate, said they would take the penalties, but it just didn't work out for them. A 23-year-old, a 21-year-old, and 19-year-old stepping up to the plate under the biggest lights, an international tournament, the final of an international tournament on your home soil. Step up, they wanted to be the heroes, but it just wasn't meant for them. And yeah, but you can't really get on them too much. You can't really press them too much. It's a penalty shootout. It's a coin flip. It just didn't go England's way today, and Italy won it. But but that doesn't take anything away from Gianluigi Donnarumma, who, like I said, saved two brilliant penalties. Really won his side this game because yeah, he didn't have to do much really throughout the game, but when he was called up to step up big time and save the penalties, he answered the call and he stepped up and he won the game for Italy. And like I said, like I mentioned earlier, became the first goalkeeper to win play the tournament at the Euros, which is an incredible feat when you consider the caliber of goalkeepers that has played in previous Euro tournaments, from the likes of Casillas to Gianluigi Buffon and all the other legends that has all goalkeeping legends that have played in the Euros. But yeah, Italy won it. I was happy for them. The Spinazzola, who was another contender for player of the tournament, went down injured against Belgium, so he was unable to play. Emerson stepped up in his place. He filled the void, and yeah, Italy. Like I said, congratulations to them, fully deserved. I know there will be a lot of people calling for Southgate's head, but you can't really. He has made some questionable tactical decisions, but everything he did throughout the tournament did work. It got him to the final, and even the risky call which put in Trippier. Trippier started off the game really good and got the assist. So Gareth Southgate got it right up until the final. You can't really be too upset with him. You can't really be too upset with him. Like I said, it's penalty shootouts. It's the luck of the draw. It's the coin toss. It just didn't roll England's way. You can't really be too upset with Southgate for that. But letting three young guys take the last three penalties, especially a 19-year-old, that was his first penalty kick in professional football. I think that was perhaps wasn't the right call, but like I said, it's penalties. Somebody's got to be the hero. Somebody's got to miss. Unfortunately, it was Saka, Sancho, and Rashford. Like I said, you just can't do anything but feel sorry for those guys. But yeah, congratulations to Italy. Full props to them. I'm so glad to see Chiellini get an international award, as well as Chiesa and Spinazzola. Those guys really deserve it, as well as Donnarumma. And in fact, the entire Italy team really deserved it. You don't win the finals and you don't deserve it. So yeah, full credit to Italy, fully deserved. And yeah, so that's been it for the Euro 2020 final. Oh, one last thing. Huge congratulations to Lionel Messi. He finally got his international tournament with Argentina after they won the Copa America last night, beating Brazil 1-0. And it wouldn't have been right if Lionel Messi went his entire career and didn't win something for his country. Super happy for the guy. But yeah, Congratulations to Italy, congratulations to Argentina. And yeah, well, not gonna be any football really for quite some time now. So, if you guys could give me any suggestions of any football related content you would like to see, let me know. Send me it on Instagram, send me it on Twitter. Put any comments down below. All my socials down below. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like all that good stuff. And you guys will be seeing me a little bit later today because Game 3 of the NBA Finals starts in about an hour and a half. So yeah, guys, that's been it for me. Later.